previous life. Not believing his tale, she sent him away, but in time, came to realize that the flight harness and mace he left her could be used to fight crime in ways a badge and gun never could. Donning the artifacts of her past life, Kendra took the name Hawkgirl in her renewed fight against crime. An aggressive bruiser, the winged defender is highly mobile and excels at isolating and disrupting her opponents. The special properties of her nth metal mace makes her especially disruptive against blasters. Hawkgirl's passive is Thrill of Battle. Basic attacks against her grant stacks of power armor. If she does not attack for a short period of time, the stacks are lost. Soar breaks Hawkgirl free from slowing effects, granting her additional move speed, and empowers her next basic skill within a short window. Upon using a skill, the Soar effect is lost. If she earns a champion kill or assist, the cooldown on Soar is reset. Hawkgirl hurls her weapon with Mace Throw, dealing attack damage to the first champion hit. This skill does reduce damage to drones and creatures it passes through. When soaring, Mace Throw marks and reveals the champion hit, allowing Hawkgirl to activate the skill again, dashing to the target, dealing attack damage, and stunning them. Haymaker empowers her next basic attack within a short window to deal bonus attack damage and briefly silence her target. If soaring, Haymaker deals bonus attack damage, plus a percentage of the target's maximum health, and applies a longer silence. Hawkgirl's ultimate skill is Howling Eye. Kendra uppercuts the target enemy champion, knocking them up and dealing attack damage. Adjacent enemies are knocked back and dealt power damage. Additionally, for each enemy struck by Howling Eye, Hawkgirl gains a power damage shield. Hawkgirl is at home in lane, or in the jungle, where her mace throw offers excellent harass, especially against power damage champions. Howling Eye can turn the tide of precarious situations, with its shielding and displacement effects, turning seeming defeat into multiple kills for your team. Still, it is important to know your limits and avoid overextending when at low health. When jungling in Gotham Divided, take Haymaker as your first skill to help with clearing, but max Mace Throw early for ganks. Initiating ganks from behind your enemies enables you to save Soar for when they try to flee, initiating your move speed and empowering your next Mace Throw with a stun. In Coast City, Hawkgirl is equally viable in top and bottom lane. In addition, the combination of Soar and Mace Throw allow a jungling Hawkgirl to engage unsuspecting foes from behind walls, making for some great ganks. Hawkgirl shines in the streets of Gotham Heights, where her Soar ability combined with speed pads allow her to cover ground quickly. This mobility, along with her formidable dueling potential, allows Hawkgirl to be where she needs to, whether attacking or defending capture points. Hawkgirl's super speed increases a champion's move speed and can be shortly extended by basic attacks. This stolen power is tailored for bruisers, allowing them to stick to fleeing opponents, maximizing damage and securing kills. Combined with Soar, this stolen power also gives Hawkgirl great escape potential. Psychic Assault makes a great pairing with Hawkgirl's super speed, slowing her enemies and increasing the opportunities to land basic attacks. When laning, consider surveillance cameras for increased vision or regenerative powers such as Consume or Healing Wave for better sustain. When building artifacts for Hawkgirl, focus primarily on attack damage and durability. Sword of Beowulf is a great pick for both attack damage and additional power armor. For a more offensive build, Joe Chill's Revolver and Atomic Axe will give her a huge spike in her attack damage output. If your team needs more utility, Lobo's Chain is a great choice for slowing your enemies and creating opportunities for your allies. Soar into battle as the unstoppable winged defender, Hawkgirl.
Whoa, you're not Nick. I am not. Hi, guys. Welcome back. I see Aki here. I'm filling in for Nick for Game 2 here with Kevin Naki.
Hey guys, how you doing? That was a weird game 1. Like just everything from the setup of Dolphin Chasers, like, haha, we're really crafty against you Brawl folks. Haha, we're gonna take all these enforcers away, and Brawl's like, whatever.
Yeah.
That was really cool play. No stuns, no CC, just all damage, and let's see what happens. And it worked out pretty well for him.
It was definitely a really interesting fight. I mean, Brawl really dominant. Brawl was dominant yesterday as well. So they move on in the next round.
Yeah, definitely. So they move on to the next round. That means we have another match for you right now. This is another round 1 match. This is going to be MXC versus Team C. And looks like our teams are actually in and ready to go. So we're going to jump into the game here momentarily. And yeah, so again, to reiterate, these are all best of ones. We are going to be going and determining the top 2 teams after these 5 best of ones happen. They're going to be moving on to the semifinals for the regionals. And that's just going to be cool. I'm looking forward to just watching that NA versus EU match, and just seeing the
top 2 from each.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just seeing that awesome, ridiculous clash of styles, because there has been so many differences in the scenes.
And so looking at the bracket here, Dolphin Chasers moves down to the loser bracket. They're going to play the loser of this match.
Yes.
To continue on going through the bottom bracket, and then the winner of this match faces Brawl in the next round.
Yes, and of course, Mr. Genre was already in the Twitch chat saying, one more win, one more win, and we've got Germany. So, you know, best of luck to them, obviously, but hope to see a super competitive match, whoever ends up facing them. So, all right, looks like our teams are good to go, so let's do it. Let's jump into the game.
Team C, MXC, both ready now. We're jumping into game 2 of our tournament today.
Yes, that is correct. Now, we saw a Gas Cat ban. Very first in the previous game. That's something we've been seeing in Europe a lot. It has not happened here in the NA scene, although it is a fairly frequent ban nonetheless. It does pop up usually. We're going to start with an Atomic Wonder Woman ban, though. Just they're like, no, we're not going to deal with her. We're not going to deal with the global. Well, we saw how much damage she did last time still, so no thanks.
Yeah, no. Atomic Wonder Woman, really strong assassin. I mean, I think we might see the other assassins ban, like we've seen the EU scene does a lot of banning out the assassins, like Gas Cat, Atomic Wonder Woman, Superman as well. Superman, there we go, followed up by Superman. So Swamp Thing is banned out by MXC.
Yeah, and I'm actually a little bit confused about that, to be honest. I would have figured that their first ban, I'm fine with the Enforcer bans, don't get me wrong. Like, Swamp Thing has been a presence in the jungle and top this entire weekend in the NA scene. That's totally fine. We're gonna see a Wonder Woman Prime ban, right? They're not gonna let Cow have Wonder Woman, I'm assuming, but we'll find out.
I mean, would Team C take Wonder Woman their first ban? I mean, their first pick.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's certainly possible, and I think, and there it is. Okay, Wonder Woman Prime ban. So no surprise there. That does leave people like Mecha Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn on the table, though.
That does leave Harley Quinn on the table, and I'm going pro picks her up with the first pick for Team C. But this also leaves Arcane, Green Lantern, and as you said, Mecha Wonder Woman. Yeah.
So, okay. So, I mean, no surprise there at all. Like, just looking at the bans, it's like, well, who's left? Okay, obviously they're going to go.
In the top lane now.
Oh, that's right. And Gaslight Joker. And let's see, who has been banned out? So, Wonder Woman's been banned out, well, potentially from top, although she's been playing a lot of support, I understand. You do have Swamp Thing banned out and Superman banned out.
So then you're looking at Gaslight Joker, Atomic Green Lantern.
Yeah.
For like a top lane matchup. Yeah, it looks like Mystigen's going to grab Gaslight Joker right now.
And we still have such an aversion to Atomic Green Lantern right after you mentioned him in the NA scene. Another game where he's neither picked nor banned, despite the fact that he's an automatic lock in the EU scene basically every time. Once again, Atomic Poison Ivy and Sinestro locked in. Still no Atomic Green Lantern to be found anywhere.
Well, I think with that, coming from MXC, because Gaslight Joker's already been picked up by Team C, they're probably not going to take a second Enforcer.
Yep.
So they can just let Atomic Green Lantern fall to their last pick.
Very true. Very true. So we'll see what Centura ends up going with here, or what Team C ends up picking up. So they've already got the Gas Bat, of course, can go multiple places. It can be the default marksman down in bots. It's also a very strong mid choice. And it's something that I've actually been, Nick and I were talking about this morning. It's something that I'm actually surprised the EU scene hasn't tried to leverage, because Gaspat is just so strong in mid. He has good escapes. He's got good hybrid damage. He's even got a little bit of burst for a marksman when you include his Bat Scream. But no, it's going to be a Cyborg pickup and then an Atomic Green Lantern. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Team C.
Wow, so Team C taking away the Atomic Green Lantern from them.
Yeah.
I was really surprised by that.
Well, okay, so let's see how this is going to match up. Atomic Joker going over to MXC is the last pick.
So it looks like we'll see a Mecha Wonder Woman and maybe Gaslight Joker matchup in the mid lane.
Yeah, so, yeah, because we've got, it looks like Cyborg is already going over to Satura, so he's going to go bot with Kathis as Harley Quinn. Misogen in the jungle with Atomic Green Lantern. Top is going to be Cow on Gas Joker, and Gasbat's going to go mid. On the other side, we have Atomic Poison Ivy in the jungle on Ambuscad. Looks like Maestro is going to play bot with his Atomic Joker. He's going to be backed up by Kuma, and then we're going to have... Tilia is actually going to be playing top. No, hold on.
Or would we see a Surefire top
No, Tilia
lane?
is going to be mid with Mecha Wonder Woman, of course. So
I mean, we'll see. They
Yeah.
could completely switch this up on us.
this is crazy.
So a double dual marksman combo here between MXC and Team C.
Right, and very damage-heavy composition for MXC right now, and not like the strongest over-the-top gank potential. I mean, they've got pretty good initiation eventually, but like you know, Atomic Poison Ivy is mostly going to sit back and farm for a while until she gets sick. So like, I don't expect her to be a huge presence early on. So, all right, and here we go. We're going to find out how this shakes up. We're in the game.
But seeing no teleport going out by MXC, I'm definitely a little
Yeah.
curious at how their top lane's going to work with no teleport.
Okay, well, we already see, let's actually take a look at their side. Azure fires up there, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. He's just going to be playing Sinestro and doing, as much damage as he can. Tilia's going to stay mid as Mecha Wonder Woman. She played that both games yesterday.
So it looks like we're going to see a Sinestro going up against a Gaslight Joker in the top lane. I mean, how often do you really see a Blaster going up against a really heavy farming
Yeah.
top lane champion?
Not a ton. And, like, I mean, Sinestro has pretty decent wave clear, and so, like, and even at a little bit of range, too. So, I mean, like, once he starts stacking on a little bit of power, he's going to be in a good spot. And since, you know, Gas Joker takes a little while to get going as well, before he can really just start bullying you and run in on you with his ultimate and stuff like that, I mean, there is a potential for Sinestro to make this work, but I think it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it's going to be pretty difficult. Looking, all five members of Team C down in the bottom here, trying to give Maestro some trouble here as all of Team C starts warding around the Leviathan area.
Yeah, and Cow actually backing directly next to a camera. Unfortunately, no one from MXC, I think, can get there in time. Yeah, it looked like Kuma was thinking about getting up there. Maybe he had his lantern picked, but not going to happen.
So we're seeing a lot of exchange with X-ray vision, trying to take out the enemy cameras here in the bottom lane. But yeah, seeing a Mecha Wonder Woman going against Gaslight Batman, that's interesting, seeing two marksmen in the mid lane on top of two down the bottom.
Yeah, and I've been loving Gaspat mid lately. I just think he has a lot of versatility and a lot of escapes. But to be honest, Tilia and I'm Going Pro should have about an equal opportunity to be able to escape each other's skill shots and such. So I think this is just going to be a dodge war here in mid.
And looking down the bottom, Harley Quinn, you know, very superior controller, has a lot of sustain and regenerating for her lane partner. How do you think that's going to match up with Arcane Green Lantern? I mean, Arcane Green Lantern does have his passive, the Emerald Light passive that allows his marksman or whoever he's laning with to regen some health when they hit that marked target.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to come down to whoever's aggressive here. Like, I think that Kuma and Maestro need to get in and do a little bit of damage, and they've got great poke with Arcane Green Lantern and his Lantern and his Knights as well. So I think they just need to be controlling the pace of the bottom lane. Like, if they let Kathis and Satura just start farming free, Kathis and Satura basically the entire weekend have been great at just constantly pushing up turrets. And Cow was actually caught out here by Ambuscad, and I was completely wrong when I said Ambuscad was going to not get involved early on. Tries for the gank right at level 2. Doesn't make it work, though, and Cow gets away.
Yeah, sending Cow back early is really what MXC needs to do. I mean, a Blaster can go against such a strong champion like Gaslight Joker already. And right now, he's not going to burn his teleport. I would assume that Cow would use his teleport to get right back to the top lane.
I agree.
Kind of prevent Azurefire from farming so much. He's already level 3 to Cow's level 1.
Yeah, and Cow is now at a significant disadvantage. He will be able to recover out of this, but don't forget, he had kind of the hardest time with that early game gank that failed gank attempt by Team C down bot. He wasted a lot of time, wasn't a presence in lane, had to back, walk up to top again, and then is forced to back yet again. So he's only been present in this top lane like 30 seconds.
And so Azurefire does have the lead. He's going to teleport back to base. Seeing about a 200 credit advantage in favor of MXC right now.
Oh, and looks like some people went in on mid as well. Tillia takes a little bit of damage there, and she's going to end up falling. There's the shield. Will she get away? No, she will not. I'm going pro. Will he pay for this? I don't think Amiscot can turn this around on Mystigen, and I'm going pro. Not as level 2 Atomic Poison Ivy, and she has to back out.
So Tillia falling, first death going to Team C. I mean, we saw Mystigen in there putting a lot of pressure, and I'm going pro is able to get the last shot out on Tillia and secure that first blood.
And I like this from Team C. They're like, we're not just grabbing first blood. We're going to come get the speed camp, too, and we're just going to be as annoying as possible. Nothing that Amiscot can do about it. There comes Kuma, though. He does get around the side. Mystigen takes a huge amount of damage. Tillia coming from the top. That's going to be enough to finish him off. Looks like Maestro came in from the side there for that last hit. He'll get credit for the kill.
So that definitely is what MXC needed. They, I mean, obviously Team C overextended their stay. Going into Mixed Company's jungle there, trying to take away their speed boost, but, I mean, Maestro was able to secure a kill with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Maestro gets the kill. This is going to open up this bottom surveillance camera as well. The tower is going to go to them. Up top, Cow has actually been pushing back against Sinestro a little bit, which I think is kind of funny, all things considered, and is now up by over 100 credits, believe it or not.
Yeah, having a 100 credit advantage after he spent his initial time in the match in the bottom lane, running back, getting up to top lane, and he was already pushed back to begin with.
Yeah.
And he still has a credit advantage. That just goes to show the farming potential of a Gaslight Joker.
Absolutely. So he's done a really nice job of neutralizing that advantage from Sinestro early. In fact, he's doing the typical Cow thing, and he's just like, I'm going to just start taking your camps.
And the help of Mystigen just makes it much easier for Cow to farm through MXC's jungle.
Oh, and he tried to get the fear. He was trying, of course, to fear Azurefire back into the lane just a little bit. And the Mystigen could have come up, and there was a strong potential for a gank there. Doesn't end up working out, but that's okay. Amiscot is going to react by coming up to the top, but Cow and Mystigen know this is happening. They do have good surveillance camera coverage.
I mean, you got two enforcers in this top lane right now with Mystigen trying to help out. They do secure the surveillance drone, but throwing down a speed boost to get Mystigen out of there in time.
So, you know, I mean, my eyes are on Mystigen just because we have not seen Atomic Green Lantern all that much in the NA scene recently. He still does have a very, very strong kit overall. His ult is just crazy in the way it tracks down people and the amount of damage that it can eventually do. And it looks like Poison Ivy actually coming from around the side here may run directly into Mystigen, though, and she can't really take that right now.
Yeah, being a level below Mystigen, Amiscot, I can't really do much damage right now, and I'm Going Pro is aware. Oh, and I'm Going Pro duking out with Tilly here, both throwing down their healing waves.
And ended up working out okay for I'm Going Pro, as he did trade more favorably with Tillia, and even Amiscot coming from around the side can't quite finish it off. Kuma is actually going to come up as well. Tilly coming from the side, they're going to try and take out Mystigen, and will they be able to finish him off? Yes, they do. Azurefire reacts as well, and that was a 5-man collapse on mid. That should give Satura and Kathis the opportunity to really push out bot lane right now, but I've got to hand it to MXC. They're playing this game very well. Certainly already a lot stronger in the early game than they were yesterday against Team C.
And while you saw 4 members of Mixed Company try to Virgin and collapse on Mystigen there, Azurefire almost locked a kill down on I'm Going Pro, but he missed Parallax.
Yeah, unfortunately he did, and that would have been a really nice two kill for nothing, actually, for MXC, as despite the fact that Satura and Kathis have been pushing bottom pretty efficiently, which, as I mentioned before, that's just what they do. They just sit down there and push and push and push and open up turrets, and it works out really well for Team C. Despite the fact, though, that that has been okay, this is an even game, and MXC is playing pretty well up to this point. They really need to make sure that nothing happens to Azurefire up top, and he can still get reasonable farm, because as soon as Sinestro gets big enough, he's going to be a presence. But right now, it's just difficult. As you see, Cow uses ult and just pushes Azurefire out of there to try and lane against Cow right now. Oh, wow, good damage.
I mean, Azurefire is definitely holding his own against Gaslight Joker. He's a lot stronger than I thought he would. I do feel like it's a little tough, and it doesn't really sway in a Blaster's favor going against someone like Gaslight Joker.
Yeah, well, I mean, once Joker adds a couple of items, he's just going to get beefy. I mean, he already looks pretty beefy right now, but once he adds artifacts, he will be suitably beefy to befit his appearance.
Looks like I'm Going Pro is trying to make his way down the bottom. With Mystigen, also, it looks like all 4 are going to collapse on Maestro and Kuma, but they do have the vision with one surveillance camera out there.
And it ended up working out okay. It looks like Missigen's just going to be like, all right, we'll just start taking some jungle camps then, no problem. And up top, Poison Ivy actually stealing a bit of camps off to the left-hand side too. Maybe able to make up or get up there and make a move sometime soon. Missigen is already level 6. Ambuscade is not there yet. As soon as he hits 6, though, he'll have a lot stronger potential to support his team. Really nice knockback there. Kuma takes a huge amount of damage. He's going to fall. Good gank coming in from Missigen.
Kythus there with a put-in-time hammer knocking Kuma up. It allows his team to secure a kill, so that's 2-2 all right now.
Yeah, I mean, and despite the fact that it is slightly in the favor of Team C, MXC has kept this game very close. They do push I'm Going Pro out of lane for the time being. I'm Going Pro, once again, has been doing a very nice job of managing this lane so far. He and Tilia have been able to trade pretty efficiently back and forth. Tilia certainly holding her own, but I'm Going Pro just seems to get a little bit better trade every time they go against each other.
I mean, with Mecha Wonder Woman, she really has the, the personal steroid buff that increases her attack speed. But I do feel like the overall base damage, it's definitely in the favor of Gaslight Batman.
So Cal, once again, up top, just doing his thing. He keeps pushing the turrets. It's back, grabs the camp once again. And things are looking pretty good for him. It looks like he tried to check his own camp. Unfortunately, Ambuscade had already grabbed that before. Bat Scream comes in, misses Tilia. Another crazy trade back and forth. I'm Going Pro does look like he gets ever so slightly the advantage, but without his ult, things could get dangerous, and here comes Ambuscade. All right, so Ambuscade doing some damage. I'm Going Pro uses this healing wave, gets away. Will he be able to make it out of there? Missigen doesn't have a huge amount of damage, so he can ward Ambuscade away, but it's not like he can just kill him.
So that Tilly is definitely going to have to be going back. We're going to see I'm Going Pro teleport back as well. Azurefire and Cow still trying to exchange in the top lane. Not much happening in the realm of killing one of the two.
No. I mean, it's kind of a weird place to be, right? You have a blaster versus one of the tankiest characters in the game, so it's like, yeah, I can do really good damage, and Cow's just like, well, I can take a lot of damage too. Oh, and it looks like Azurfire's getting jumped on up top. Unfortunately, he is going to fall. Atomic Poison Ivy was trying to get in position, but there was nothing Ambuscade could do there. And Missigen with another successful gank as Atomic Green Lantern, and this is his power.
So even though Missigen has been targeted 2 of the kills coming out by MXC, he does have a 100% kill participation rate at this point.
Yeah, and he's looked great. And I don't think he really cares about the fact that he's died twice. He's opened up 3 kills for his team. He's always given them favorable situations, so I think he's looking good so far.
Kuma going in, trying to lock down Centurion Kythus with the shackles, but he's not able to secure anything. There's still the drone wave, but their turret is incredibly low in the bottom lane.
Yep, and this is what we were talking about before. This is what Kathis and Satura do, and Kathis even has enough damage to really help this wave clear out as well. So this should be, within 1 or 2 drone waves, a pretty easy turret grab here if they can continue to just lay down a little bit of damage. This is going to require support from a jungler at some point, and I don't see Ambuscade in the area to be able to help this out.
Yeah, Ambuscade's definitely trying to sit in the top lane. I mean, they're putting a lot of vision down on the Raider in the top. But with a Surefire going against Gaslight Joker, I do think Ambuscade really needs to help out top lane more than the bottom lane.
And there's Mistigen down bot. He's ready for this as well. He knows that Kathis and Satura have been pushing this up very aggressively. Looks like both Mecha Wonder Woman and Atomic Poison Ivy dipping into their own jungle for a second to clear out a camp, but I'm Going Pro is coming bot right now. He is spotted, but that bat scream, is it up? Yes, it is, and that's always a threat regardless of whether you spotted him or not.
And with spotting out I'm Going Pro, we're seeing Tilia and Ambuscade make their way bottom too. So we're going to probably see a 4-on-4 in the bottom lane here. And just to remind everybody, Cow does have teleport, so we can easily see a 4-on-5.
Yeah, and I would imagine he's going to make his way down if he gets desperate enough. Ambuscade, though, gets injured really, really badly. Does he make it out of there? No, Bat Scream is going to be enough to finish him off. I'm Going Pro picks up the first kill. Maestro gets away with just a bit of health remaining, and this is going to be a turret in the bag for Team C. So a kill and a turret. Things are looking really good for them, and they open up the first significant lead of the game.
Oh, Missigen just missing that grab on Tilia. They could have secured another kill with that one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, his grabs have actually been pretty good in his ganks so far, so that was kind of a rare miss for him.
All right, we're seeing all members of Team C going back and jumping up to the top lane. Cow does have the level advantage.
Yeah.
On top of a About 800 credit advantage at this point.
Yeah, and this is the problem, right? We were talking before that Atomic Poison Ivy would probably have to be up there and ganking a couple of times for Azure Fire to make sure he didn't fall too far behind. Because you do have great burst potential as Sinestro, of course, but you want to land that on a couple of targets in a big team fight, and that's where he makes a lot of his impact. Single target damage like that, yeah, he can do some, of course, but Cow should be able to out-tank basically anything he can dish out in one combo.
So with this, you're going to see Cow and Misogyn just farming up in the jungle. We do have Azure Fire going back to his base. Tilia sitting in the top lane.
Yeah, Tilly's sitting in the top lane, and that's fine because she does have really, really quick wave clear. And we're going to see if MXC wants to go in on this. No, they're just going to give up Raider for now, and this is going to be another Raider going over to Team C. This is going to put them up by almost 5K credits. And once again, they're starting to slowly push down those objectives, and now that they're grouping as a team, they can be a lot more aggressive in fights as well.
Yeah, we're seeing Kythus and I'm Going Pro group up in the middle with Misogyn's help. They're going to start trying to push this middle turret here, but we are seeing a rotation possibly between Tilia and Azure Fire.
Well, I mean, and I think that's fine because there's been so much pressure here, and there's always just generally more targets for Azure Fire to hit that I think that this is okay. And because of the pretty decent range that Mecha Wonder Woman will have up there up top, she should be able to pick away a little bit of damage. But Misogyn comes in from the side, and there's no getting away from this. Tilia takes a huge amount of damage. There's the shield. Is it going to be enough? Turns around with the ult. Will he be able to turn around on Misogyn? No, not quite. Misogyn gets very low in health. There's the fear coming out from Cow. Ambuscade is going to end up falling as well with that ultimate from Cow and a 2-for-0. What a great turnaround.
Yeah, Team C starting to run away with this here. Azure Fire and Kuma, they're just trying to get to the top lane, defend this turret. Huge drone wave followed by Cow and I'm Going Pro of Team C.
Yeah, and Kuma's just going to go in on this. I mean, they've recognized they have to make something happen here, and there is a lot of burst out of Azure Fire, but a great fear away, and the Bat Scream follows it up, and that's going to be enough to land a kill. MXC loses yet another teammate there, and Team C presses their advantage once again. Really nice last about 3 or 4 minutes here from Team C. They're playing on point.
In that final engagement, that ended up being 3-for-0 overall with a fight with I'm Going Pro picking up the kill on Azure Fire with that nice Bat Scream.
Yeah, but that was just really well managed. I'm a bit surprised that MXC went quite that far. Like, I thought the intention of what they were doing was very good. Like, hey, we gotta land a kill. We're really far behind now. They're all really low. This is a good opportunity. But I wish they would have let Team C move up just a bit more and try to catch them more unawares because they just dove in, immediately got feared, and that was it for Azure Fire.
I don't think Azure Fire was expecting that ham toss to land so perfectly.
That's true.
If anything, he probably thought it was going to be used just to escape. Because you had Misogyn and I'm Going Pro so low.
Yeah, and he just couldn't land that last little bit of damage. So again, just things going against MXC at the moment. Misogyn comes around from the side. He's starting to have kind of no fear now. He's starting to get a little bit tankier. Things are looking pretty good for him. He's successfully landed, like we said, so many ganks over the course of this game. Has he still been part of every single kill so far? It would not surprise me if he has. All but one. Good enough.
All but one. Yes. I mean, having 6 assists at this point for their jungler, it's incredible for what Misogyn's been able to do. I mean, he's secured the top lane as well as the entire bottom lane.
All right, and Tilia
what a knock-up by Kythus there. Almost, can Cow get it? Oh, Cow gets parallaxed.
He does get parallaxed, but he doesn't care. He's just so big right now. And he does end up taking out Tilia. No problem. He should be able to get away from this. Ham toss pushes Kuma away just a bit. And yeah, you were right. What a great knock up at the beginning of that to knock Tilia out of her ult immediately and mitigate the damage being done. That allows for basically a free turret and a kill. And they're starting to push with their EMP that they had gotten from that Raider, years ago, to take out this next turret as well. And it looks like Ambuscade is going to fall.
So that ends up being a 2-for-0, and C's going to continue fighting around this turret, try to take it down. All we have I'm Going Pro trying to engage against Maestro in the bottom lane. So they are pushed back to their dampeners in 2 of the lanes right now.
Yeah, they really are, and it's only 17 minutes in the game, and C is just starting to just really run away from this. They're now up 10K credits. I'm Going Pro was up 2 levels over Maestro down there in the bot lane when he was sitting back and just constantly pushing him to turret. So Maestro's literally doing nothing right now. I mean, he just can't do anything.
I mean, at this point, while you had 4 members of Team C in the top lane trying to push that Tier 2 turret, he should have been pushing the entire bottom lane by himself.
Yeah.
He should have been getting that solo farm, that goal, the credits on top of it. I'm not sure what happened with the bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, was really kind of just left alone to his own devices and got bullied around is what it kind of looks like. So Team C is now stacking up here in mid. All 5 members are there shortly, or at least I would imagine. Am I missing someone? No, okay, they're all there. Tilia, ooh, you got to watch out. You can't be that far out. Unfortunately, with this kind of map control this early on from Team C, MXC has to be incredibly cautious about getting themselves caught out on the map.
Yeah, we might see Leviathan right away.
Yeah.
Taking a kill taken out by Team C here. I mean, Cow is just controlling the entire map as Gaslight Joker.
Yeah, he's doing a really, really great job of that. And I've got to give credit as well to Sotura, because at the beginning of this, I was like, oh, ended up going for Cyborg. Kind of an interesting pick in the middle of what they've seen, but I guess there was a little bit of tank potential on the other side that they wanted to be able to knock out with that Arcane Green Lantern. Despite that fact, though, this Cyborg has actually proven to be really effective, has done a ton of damage, doesn't have, much in the way of escapes or anything like that, but has been able to lay out the damage necessary here. You see 6,000 credits, 4 assists, has been part of pretty much most of the action here. So Tura and Kathis, once again, really opened up that bottom lane, and that gave Team C a lot of chances in this game.
I think Cyborg works perfectly well if he has the support and the controller in the bottom lane that can really help him disengage. I mean, that's the one thing that Cyborg lacks is something that...
Yeah, we'll be able to disengage, but Team C right now ends up jumping in on this fight. Azurfire getting very low in health, and Cow just doesn't care, man. He's just sitting there. He's in the middle of the ult from Poison Ivy as well. Poison Ivy's like, dude, team, I've got this. We're going to help out. No, that's not going to happen, and I'm going pro. Just comes in here right from the side. Bat Scream. Wow, I'm surprised he didn't actually fire that along to kill Kuma. He tried to go after Tilia with it. It did hit Tilia, but they didn't land the kill, and that is going to be a 3-for-0. Mystigen somehow staying alive in the middle of all of that for Team C.
Yeah, while Mystigen was able to somehow escape with a shred of life, Cow just sat in the middle and ate everything up.
Yes, he did. Absolutely did. And once he popped that ultimate as well, he was able to wave clear, he was able to impact the team fight, and once again, MXC is pushed back to the brink. They're down 14k credits. It's almost double the credits now for Team C. They're up way in artifacts. They've got pretty much every major map objective pushed down right now. Things are looking great for them.
I was really surprised I'm Going Pro did not throw down the Leviathan shield for his entire team. I mean, Mystigen got incredibly low. Cow wasn't at the point of like, oh shoot, I gotta run. But they still kept it alive.
I know, and he just didn't care, and still has not backed to this entire time. There finally will go back because he probably has a couple K credits to spend right now, needs to get a couple more artifacts and jump back into lane. And honestly, at this point, I mean, MXC kind of has a weird team. They've got decently strong initiation here. They do have a lot of damage as well, but the problem is that they really want to be able to pick people off. They really want to be able to counter engage, and they just can't. They have to play incredibly defensive right now, and there's a really good composition on the Team C side to just walk up and engage wherever they want. Just having Gas Joker and Cyborg there means you have the damage, you have the tankiness necessary to kind of just bully people around the whole map.
The thing is, MXC does have enough like peel to get their main damage dealers, alive and keep them fighting throughout the fight. But there's just so many more gap closers between what Team C has. I mean, they have Harley Quinn, they have Gaslight Joker, who just goes in, throws the ham, and just stays in the fight. On top of, you have Atomic Green Lantern with his grab and just yanking someone to the rest of the team, and just the entire team of C is just going to jump down and converge on that one person.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And you see that, I mean, there's such fear on MXC's side. They are not going past that about third of the way into the jungle on their side. They're just refusing to do it, regardless of how many people they know are around the map. Oh, Tilia really has to watch out here. This could be very bad. Keitha's going to try and come in. Mystigen coming around from the side. Tilia uses the escape, but there's the grab coming in right now. Tilia takes a huge amount of damage. The ult from Mystigen, not quite enough to finish this off. He's going to come from around the side. Tilia finally ends up falling. Mystigen takes a huge amount of damage to try and get that done.
But here comes Cow teleporting in the middle of MXC and their turret.
And it works out really well. Even though Mystigen goes down, Cow does soak up a huge amount of damage, but where's the rest of the team? Never mind. I thought that the rest of the team was going to come in on this, but it's actually I'm Going Pro who's trying to go after power core turrets right now. This was a 4v5 the entire time. They're just leaving I'm Going Pro to his own devices. That was kind of crazy.
So I'm Going Pro is now pretty much trapped by MXC in this base.
Trapped? I think this is a triple kill. No, I'm joking. He's actually going to die.
He does secure one.
Can he get a second? Wait. He's got two. Are you joking? It was a triple. He got all three of them. He finally ends up dying. I don't want to say I called it or anything, but I called it. Man.
Wow.
That was just crazy, dude.
That was insane. How did I'm Going Pro not die in that 3-on-1?
Does he have any lifesteal right now? I actually haven't even seen what he's bought or anything like that. So he's just, you know what that is? That's brawn. That's just pure brawn that he used to force him through that situation. And I'm Going Pro gets my MVP just because of that.
So I think we have the highlight reel of the tournament from this match.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with you. All right, so now, I mean, that's about as demoralizing as it gets for MXC. They're like, all right, well, this guy was just a jerk. We'll kill him real quick. Oh, we're all dead.
So he took out, it was Ambuscad, Maestro.
And Tilia, right?
No, Tilia killed him.
Oh, Tilia killed him. You're right. Was it, I forgot who the last one was. Azure Fire?
I think it might have been Azure Fire.
Yeah. All right, so there we have it. A huge turnaround for I'm Going Pro. It looks like, it's funny because they're pinging Cow. They're like, yeah, we have vision of him. But does it matter? Like, does that, I mean, he doesn't care about the damage that he tanks right now.
I mean, at this point, Gaslight Joker doesn't really care about anyone opposing him.
No.
You saw Cow teleport directly into 4 members of MXC.
Yeah.
And just said, let's go.
Yeah. And here's the crazy part. Even though it was a 2-for-1 initially in favor of MXC, with the 3 additional kills from I'm Going Pro, they actually won that fight in style.
Ended up being a 4-for-3 in favor of Team C, all due to the brawn of I'm Going Pro.
That was pretty awesome. All right, so it looks like Team C is going to push here through mid one more time. They basically got the power to do whatever they want. Kuma actually really going in on this. They're just trying to make something happen. They know that all teleports are not going to be available. Cow doesn't have his up, I believe, and Harley Quinn was spotted out down bot, so they decided to move in right now. But even on a 5-on-3, they're getting destroyed. I'm Going Pro finally takes a huge amount of damage, but he's just going to turn around and bat scream again, I would imagine. They do grab 1 kill. I'm Going Pro stays alive throughout the entire process. Mystigen even stays alive too. So on a 3v5, MXC can't even capitalize, and they lose someone in the process.
There's just so much damage going out by Shatura and I'm Going Pro. I mean, this double marksman combo is insane. Maestro and Tilia are not able to stay alive long enough to continue with this poke. I mean, you have Gaslight Joker, Cow, just closing every single gap possible.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I'm Going Pro did die, actually. He was going for that top dampener. It ended up not working out too well for him. Tilia was able to jump on top of him and did snag the kill. So I'm Going Pro finally goes down. And Team C has to back up for at least a little bit because a good portion of their damage is down for now, and they can't just aggressively, without any sort of deployables or anything, just bully over those dampeners.
So with Leviathan coming back up, Team C is going to go for their second Leviathan kill here. I mean, they have so many power-ups with these 3. I really think they can just easily close the gap.
Oh, yeah.
But you do have MXC going to engage and try and counter this Leviathan kill.
Well, I mean, they have to, right? They have to try something at this point. They're so critically far behind that they have to go in pretty soon. And it looks like this is going to be turned around by Team C. I'm Going Pro coming up in 5 seconds. We'll see if Team C is able to contest this or who's going to get the last hit. Leviathan very far down in health. Here comes Cow from the side. And I do believe it did go over to Mixed Company, as a matter of fact, but it looks like they're going to pay for that, unfortunately. They do have all 5 members remaining still. Mystigen is actually taking a huge amount of damage. I'm Going Pro with the bat scream does actually end up taking out Kuma. Satura falls in the process. Tilia goes down up top, and it looks like Team C is trying to re-engage. Go! Kathis avoiding the shots from Azure Fire. Tilia falls. Ambuscade has gone down. Cow still just sitting there and trading constantly. He should eventually die for Maestro. Wait, who am I kidding? He's a fat joker. He's out of there.
Wow. With the 2 teams split like that, and I'm Going Pro coming up from the respawn and then re-engaging, trying to save Cow and Kaithas, that ends up being a 2-for-4 in favor of Team C.
Yeah, crazy, right? I mean, every one of these engagements that theoretically should not go well for them or they're missing a significant portion of their damage, they turn around and they play it perfectly. It looks like they didn't end up getting all the deployables, of course. Cow just sits there and tanks a couple of shots at the turret, doesn't really care about it. Although, he's got to watch out now because Maestro could have turned around and potentially just nuked him out. There's a ham, fears him actually towards I'm Going Pro, which is not what he wanted. There's a speed
but the
boost.
Amulet of Ice is going out.
Yeah, the Amulet of Isis catches him up to Cow. There comes the heal in from Kathis. Cow still manages to walk away, though, despite that.
My favorite part of that engagement on the Leviathan, as soon as the Leviathan went down, Maestro ran and grabbed the shield and instantly popped it for MXC. But it didn't do that much.
No, it really didn't do that much, to be honest. We'll see here. I mean, what does MXC do from here? They're still down by 14k credits. We're getting further on, which means they have a respectable number of artifacts now, even though they're way outscaled by their opponents at the moment. But the next big global map objective doesn't come up for a while yet, so we're actually looking at, Raider in about 35 seconds, and that's probably where we're going to see the next action.
I mean, MXC does need the Raider. Team C doesn't. I mean, we could see Team C try and bait them to it. I mean, at this point, there's such a gold advantage in favor of Team C. They really don't need this type of a map objective other than a second Leviathan kill. I mean, with all the deployables were activated initially in that fight.
Yes.
So, I mean, theoretically speaking, there are no deployables other than, what they can get from an EMP, from the Raider.
Yeah. And I'm Going Pro has been caught out a couple of times now, so it seems like he's slightly more hesitant to just kind of all in and push on these dampeners and stuff like that like they were earlier. Looks like Team C is going to steal this away, as we mentioned before. That will give them an EMP, too, that they can potentially use to push down a dampener in a second. Doesn't look like, even though they were completely spotted walking up there, there's just no way that MXC is going to be able to contest that.
And sure, it does have a surveillance tower that we could see them throw in the bottom lane. Try to get some more vision on when you have MXC going through the jungle.
Definitely. So, Cow leading the charge. He doesn't even care. He is scared of nothing right now. He is huge. He is in charge, and he does not care about dampener shots. So we'll see if he runs up there again in a second. A little bit of wave clear prepped by that Atomic Joker. Kuma jumps into the side, but there's just no damage follow-up here from MXC. They're not able to get anything done. Tilia comes down from bot, and with Mecha Wonder Woman here, they can make a bit stronger stand, but this five-man push from Team C is going to be very difficult to resist.
But what I'm Going Pro did is he ended up pushing the lane as hard as he could to get the drones to really kind of separate MXC. So Tilia now has to go to the top lane while it's going to still be a 4-on-4. And Cal moves back to the mid lane.
Yeah, so just running around for the time being, and there goes the dampener. Cow's just going to go right in on this. Ambuscott takes a huge amount of damage, gets a bit of a heal, but I'm Going Pro's going to be able to finish him off. Maestro's about to go down as well. Pretty good peel for him. Oh, and the Bat Scream is not quite enough to do the damage necessary. Tilia ends up falling back. Zerfire did go down, so a 2-0, and this is going to open up another dampener.
Yeah, that is 2 dampeners going down. I mean, we saw the mid lane already fall once. That's the second time the mid lane dampener has gone down.
Ooh, that was a pretty good attempt to dive onto the back of I'm Going Pro, but it didn't quite work out. Maestro actually laying out some huge damage here from the side. Cow just walks away. Because he can do that with as much health. All right, so Tilia now in hot pursuit. Looks like they're going to decide to back up because they're like, well, once we get out too far, we know that C can turn around and kind of collapse on us, especially on a 3v5.
Yeah, with that 2 dampeners falling and 2 members of Mixed Company, they can't really leave their base at this point. You have elite drones coming into the mid and top lanes. They really need to just stay in their base and defend.
Yeah, definitely. And they can make that work. I mean, they do have a pretty well-rounded comp. They have a lot of burst damage potential available to them. They've got plenty of sustained damage between Tilia and Atomic Joker. So, I mean, they've got the potential to hold back against a couple of waves of pressure, but things are going to get pretty interesting, especially when this next Leviathan comes up.
Yeah, next Leviathan's about in 1 minute and 50 seconds. And right now, we're seeing just all of Team C try and push down this bottom lane.
Yeah, I mean, if they can just run up and get this, and they have plenty of deployables right now, they have another EMP, they should be able to knock this dampener down. With 3 dampeners down, there's just no way that MXC is going to be able to contest Leviathan.
I mean, because they're going to have to stay in their base and defend these 3 lanes of elite drones.
Yeah, I mean, and those elite drones are no joke, so, I mean, they're going to have to sit back against them. We'll see if Team C just wants to kind of just push this down, and it looks like that is what they're going to do. There goes the EMP, and they're going to try and engage right now. Wow, actually, Satura took a huge amount of damage. It was very close to MXC to finish them off, but then he turns around and just annihilates Azure Fire. Azure Fire falls. Everyone else from Team C is getting relatively low at this point. There's Tilia with the damage. Oh, the fear comes in from the side, and that's going to be plenty enough to do most of the damage necessary here. And wow, actually, Maestro comes back around, does some pretty good work with that bouncing head. It ends up being a 4 for 3, and it looks like Cow and Misogen are just going to try and push down one of these power core turrets.
So we are having an enforcer battle right now. You have Gaslight Joker and Misogen on Atomic Green Lantern going against Ambuscade. Can he get the one extra hit, but the Ham Toss Fear going out?
Oh.
Psychic Assault going down by Ambuscade. Misogen is incredible. Misogen does pick up the kill, but it looks like Cow's going to get one of these power core turrets.
Maybe two if he's really gutsy.
We have 2 destroyer drones coming here on top of a full wave of elite drones.
And
this might be it.
That's what I was about to say, man. I mean, he's got so much pushing power here. He could probably activate his ultimate here in a second, clear out the rest of those, and he does.
We have
now
10
he won't
seconds, 5 seconds up on Surefire.
And he's just going to solo the core for now. All right, here comes Ambuscade. He's trying to make his way up. Azure Fire has to come in from the side. Cow's taking a pretty good amount of damage, and Ambuscade goes down. Cow's going to fall for his for that, but it's certainly okay. Azure Fire will eventually be able to push this away, but now with 3 dampeners down, Leviathan coming up, honestly, Team C can just kind of push across the map and right-click that core.
So right now, MXC really just needs to defend these 3 waves. Otherwise, their power core is toast.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely is. So they can sit back and defend for the time being. We'll see if Team C just wants to go for Leviathan, or honestly, if they just want to push across the map and start right-clicking the core. Looks like they are starting to slowly head down that way. Satura and Kathis, honestly, might be in a position just to knock out Leviathan themselves.
Well, what they might do, I mean, they have 35 seconds on Cow, and it's kind of crucial to wait for Gaslight Joker to come up just to play it safe.
Sure.
I mean, you really don't want to rush in on a 4v5 without your main damage soaker.
Unless you're men. No, I'm joking. All right, so Kathis ends up taking out the Leviathan there. They pick up a couple of the deployables, and the rest of their team is starting to gather themselves up. Cow is going to be there in just a few seconds. He does have teleport available, so likely he's just going to snap onto a camera somewhere a bit forward and join the fight. Yeah,
I mean, we got 3 cameras actually right outside of MXC's base. We might see Cow just teleport right into it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's actually walking right now because I guess who cares? Until something actually gets initiated, it's not like he has to waste it.
I mean, we are seeing Team C kind of regroup this bottom lane and help push the elite drones back into their base.
I mean, and that's fine, but honestly, all Team C has to do is sit here. Because if they just sit here, the other waves are automatically going to push in.
Yep.
And here he comes with the teleport. See if he's going to activate that ultimate. There we go. Ambuscade trying to do anything he can. Pops his ult as well. Satura takes a huge amount of damage once again. There's Tilia from the back, and it actually takes out Satura. He falls. I'm Going Pro has gone down as well, so most of the sustained damage is out of the fight for Team C. Maestro falls after that as well. Ambuscade trying to get away with just a little bit of health. Cow is still just continuing to push in on him, but Ambuscade barely gets away. Tilia actually with good positioning jumps back to another dampener right now and forces Misogen out of the fight. So this has been a successful power core defense, at least for the time being, but things are going to get really interesting here in a second as this fight goes on.
So all we have left is Ambuscade, Kuma, and Tilia for MXC, but Misogen and a huge drone wave is jumping on the power core at this point.
Oh, and they're going to be able to dive in on Kathis, and this is going to take away a lot of that pushing power there. Misogen comes in from the side. He's just trying to right-click that core, and he is going to fall for his arrogance as well.
That's a successful power core defense.
They did it! All right, so a 4 for 2. They are only down by 20k credits now, and slowly starting to extend out this game. Of course, that power core is now critically injured, though. Their dampeners are coming back up, so they have less elite drones that are pushing across the map, but who knows? Oh, no, it won't come back. Oh, geez, they are down for a little while. Only the top one is up. I apologize.
Yes, they actually retook the mid lane as it came back up.
Oh, did they? Okay, gotcha.
So
gotcha.
mid lane came back up in that engagement while they were fighting the actual power core. Came back up, they took it down, and then retreated.
Okay, gotcha. All right, that makes more sense then. So 2 dampeners down. There is 1 dampener back up top, so that lane is not going to be in as much pressure of falling anymore. But this is not over by a long shot for MXC. They still have to make, probably 2 or 3 more successful defenses in a row before they're even close to equalizing.
See, the issue with these defense, this allows MXC to catch up. And there's so much credits to pick up through these 3 drone waves coming in their base.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they're also securing 4 kills for 2.
Yeah, definitely. And if they can continue to do that, they're also going to have a lot of easy credit grabs available in the form of open turrets on their opponent's side. So if they can get like a really, really big win, like let's say something like a 5-for-1 or something along those lines, and their dampeners are back up, they can maybe successfully move out, push down 1 or 2 turrets, and go back and grab Raider in a bit.
I mean, we're not seeing Leviathan coming up anytime soon.
Yeah.
So this is the first time in about maybe 10 minutes that we're actually seeing MXC try to get out of their base a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they've got 2 dampeners up now. They're just sitting in mid because they know that's where most of the pressure is going to come from. I'm Going Pro is still pushing out top lane to continue this rotational pressure on the dampeners, but MXC is trying to hold on.
And this is really all MXC can do at this point. They need to just luck out, win a strong team fight, and then they can start making some moves.
Well, that strong team fight may need to happen pretty soon, to be totally honest, because honestly, Team C probably could still move in and right-click the core if they wanted to. Azurfire just gets nuked out of the fight, and a lot of the burst damage is going to be down for MXC. Cal comes in with his ultimate, and that is going to be plenty enough to disrupt most of this fight. I'm Going Pro and Satura sitting in the back. They finally get dived on by Kuma. Will I'm Going Pro go down? No, of course he won't. And they end up taking this fight 2-0 for now, 3-0, 4-0, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the game. They decided to go after Tilia, of course, but that's going to be all she wrote. And MXC goes down. Team C moves on to face Brawl in the winners match.
I'm really impressed with how MXC was able to defend the power core turret a couple of times there in the end. I mean, that last one where I think the power core turret got down to about 25%, and they still pulled it out.
Yeah, I've got to say, a lot of resilience there. That game, the early game there went about as badly for MXC as they could have, well, I don't want to say hope for, but like, it was basically as bad as it could have been, right? But they found good resilience and didn't just knock themselves out of the match early on. They came back, they rallied, they fought well, and credit to them. I'll certainly be looking for them to advance through the lower bracket, maybe even make a stand there and make it to the regionals.
Yeah, I mean, and for the loser bracket, they're going to be playing against Dolphin Chasers.
Yes.
And for the next round, we have Brawl going against Team C.
Yes, we do. So Brawl versus Team C, as you can see there, the brackets being filled in. The winner of Brawl versus Team C advances to the regionals. There are 2 teams from NA, 2 teams from EU that will be competing there. They're going to move on to the regionals. Now, in the lower brackets, like you said, you have Dolphin Chasers versus Mixed Company right now. Whoever wins that match moves on into the next set to face the loser of Brawl and C. The loser, though, unfortunately, you will not be going to Germany. You will be knocked out of the regionals.
So we will be back shortly with our next match. I mean, I'm excited to see after this one and MXC. It's going to be interesting because we have MXC and
MXC and Dolphin Chasers. So, all right, guys, we're going to take that quick break, and when we get back, it's going to be time for more NA regional action here for Infinite Crisis. Don't go anywhere.